Have you ever truly listened to the silence of a cat? It is not an empty silence, but a heavy, ancient one, filled with secrets from a time before maps were drawn or cities were built. Tonight, we will not just talk about a pet. We will walk alongside a creature that has slept on the thrones of pharaohs, sailed across vast oceans to discover new worlds, and curled up by the fires of history's greatest thinkers. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the rhythmic purr of history guide you into a deep, peaceful slumber. Close your eyes now and let the heavy curtains of the present moment fall away, leaving behind the noise and the rush of the modern day as you allow your mind to drift backward, floating like a leaf on a gentle river, moving upstream against the flow of time, back past the centuries of steel and glass, past the stone castles and the marble temples, back to a time when the world was vast and wild and silent. We find ourselves in the Fertile Crescent, the cradle where civilization is just beginning to wake from its long slumber, under a sky so dark and deep that the stars look like diamonds scattered across black velvet, shining with a brilliance that we can scarcely imagine today. And the air here is cool and crisp, carrying the scent of damp earth, the drying grasses of the plains, and the faint, sweet smell of wild wheat that grows along the riverbanks. It is the Paleolithic night, a time when darkness was absolute, and the only light came from the moon's pale watch, or the flickering warmth of the very first campfires. And it is here, by one of these fires, that our story begins, and a small settlement of mud brick and woven reeds, where early humans have gathered to rest after the long labors of the day. The fire is the heart of this small world, a glowing gem of orange and gold that dances and cracks, sending tiny sparks drifting up toward the heavens like prayers. And the heat it radiates is a physical embrace, pushing back the chill of the desert night, creating a circle of safety and light in the midst of the endless dark. Within this circle, the breathing of the people is slow and rhythmic, a heavy slumber born of hard work and a full belly. For they have begun to store grain, piling the harvest in cool, dry shadows, and it is this grain that calls out to the darkness, drawing forth the small, scurrying creatures of the night, the mice and the voles that rustle through the dry stalks. But following them is something else, a shadow darker than the night itself, a silhouette that moves with a silence so profound it seems to absorb the very sound of the wind, a creature of instinct and grace, the ancestor of every feline that has ever curled up on a sofa, the African wildcat, Felis sylvestris libica. Imagine this creature now, pausing at the edge of the firelight, its amber eyes glowing like polished stones as they reflect the dancing flames, cautious and solitary, a hunter who answers to no one, standing on the threshold of a new world, its body tense and low to the ground, every muscle coiled like a spring, yet its movements are fluid, flowing like water over smooth stones. It does not seek the humans for affection, not yet, for in this ancient time there are no pets, only survival. But it is drawn by the opportunity, by the abundance of prey that the human settlement provides, and so it creeps closer, placing one velvet paw in front of the other, testing the ground, ensuring that not a single twig snaps, not a single dry leaf crunches under its weight. The air is still, save for the gentle sigh of the wind through the reeds and the rhythmic chirp of crickets, and the cat moves into the granary, a silent guardian in the dark, its instincts sharp and lethal as it hunts the pests that threaten the winter's food, and in doing so, it enters into a silent pact with humanity, a bond forged not in words, but in mutual benefit. As the night deepens and the moon climbs higher, casting a silver sheen over the landscape, the wildcat finishes its hunt and pauses, looking toward the fire that still smolders in the center of the camp, feeling the pull of that strange, artificial warmth, a heat that mimics the sun it loves so dearly. Slowly, tentatively, the wild spirit softens, and the cat approaches the edge of the dying embers, the heat washing over its fur, penetrating deep into its muscles, soothing the aches of the hunt. And for the first time, the barrier between the wild and the domestic begins to blur, not with a bang, but with a quiet surrender to comfort. The cat lowers its body, tucking its front paws beneath its chest in that timeless pose of contentment, its eyelids growing heavy as the warmth wraps around it like a blanket, and a low, rumbling sound begins to rise from its throat, a primitive purr that vibrates through the silence of the night, a sound of peace, of safety, of a stomach full and a body warm. The humans sleep on, unaware that their camp has been claimed by this silent watcher, unaware that the shadows have drawn closer to protect them, and the scene is one of perfect tranquility, a tableau of the ancient world at rest, where man and beast share the same small circle of light against the vast, encroaching dark. You can feel the stillness of this moment, the way the earth seems to hold its breath, the way the stars slowly rotate overhead in their cosmic dance, marking the passage of hours in a world without clocks, and you are there, invisible and weightless, watching the rise and fall of the cat's flank as it sleeps, its breathing matching the rhythm of the sleeping humans nearby. The separation between species melts away in the face of the universal need for rest, for warmth, for a sanctuary against the cold night air. And as you watch this ancient ancestor of the cat, you can see the lineage of every cat that will come after, the same curve of the ear, the same twitch of the whiskers, the same serene expression of absolute relaxation. The fire pops softly, a log shifting in the ash, and the cat opens one eye, a slit of gold in the darkness, checking for danger, but seeing only the peaceful camp, it closes the eye again, drifting back into the deep restorative sleep of the predator who is safe. The wind shifts, bringing the scent of the river, of cooling sand, of the distant mountains where the snow never melts, and the world feels vast but intimate, a giant cradle rocking its children to sleep.
This is the beginning of the journey, the first step on a road that will lead this creature from the wild plains of the Fertile Crescent to the marble halls of emperors and the soft beds of modern homes. But for now, there is only this night, this fire, this silence. Let yourself sink into that silence. Let the image of the sleeping wildcat fill your mind with a sense of calm, knowing that even in the wildest of times, there was a place for rest, a place for warmth, and a place where the weary could close their eyes and trust in the safety of the moment. The darkness is not scary here. It is a soft blanket, a protective layer that hides the world and allows the spirit to recharge. And the presence of the cat, the silent guardian of the grain, adds a layer of security, a feeling that someone is watching over the night. The stars twinkle above, ancient and wise, witnesses to this first fragile connection between two species, a connection that will survive the rise and fall of empires, the changing of maps, and the turning of the ages. Feel the heavy, comforting weight of sleep pressing down on you, just as the gravity of the earth holds the sleeping cat to the ground, a gentle pressure that whispers to your muscles to let go, to release the tension of the day, to surrender to the slow, steady rhythm of the night. The fire is fading now to a soft red glow, the embers pulsing like a slow heartbeat, and the shadows lengthen, wrapping everything in a soft gray embrace, blurring the edges of the world until there is nothing left but the feeling of peace and the sound of your own slow breathing. You are safe here
in the shadow of history, watched over by the ancestors of the past, drifting deeper and deeper into the velvet darkness, following the cat into the realm of dreams, where the hunt is always successful and the fire never goes out. The river flows on, endless and timeless, carrying the story of the world toward the sunrise. But the sunrise is far away, and for now there is only the deep, abiding comfort of the night, the soft fur of the imagination, and the quiet, steady purr of the universe, lulling you to sleep. As the chapter of the wild night closes, you can feel your own body becoming heavy, your own thoughts slowing down to match the pace of the ancient world, drifting, floating, sinking into the warm, soft sand of sleep, protected, warm, and deeply, deeply at rest.
Let the river of time carry you forward now, drifting down the long, winding currents of history until the landscape shifts from the wild, grassy plains of the early world to the blindingly beautiful golden sands of ancient Egypt, where the sun reigns supreme as a living god and the air shimmers with a dry, preserving heat that seems to hold the world in a state of eternal pause. We have arrived in the golden age of the pharaohs, a time of monumental stillness and grandeur, where the great limestone pyramids rise like stairways to the heavens, and the Nile River flows as a ribbon of deep, life-giving blue through the heart of the desert, feeding the palm trees and the papyrus reeds that sway gently in the northern breeze. In this land of light and shadow, the cat has ascended from the humble guardian of the granary to a being of divine reverence, a creature worshipped and adored, seen not just as an animal, but as the living embodiment of grace and mystery, the earthly vessel of the goddess Bastet. Imagine yourself walking slowly through the city of Bubastis, the sacred center of feline worship, where the streets are paved with sun-baked stone, and the air is thick with the scent of burning frankincense and sweet myrrh, a fragrance that calms the mind and opens the spirit to the quiet magic of the moment. The sun is high and warm, a comforting weight on your shoulders that relaxes your muscles, melting away any tension you have carried with you. And everywhere you look, you see them, the cats of Egypt, the majestic Egyptian moths, with their sleek spotted coats and eyes lined with the natural kohl of their fur patterns, looking like ancient queens in their own right. They lounge on the cool alabaster steps of the temples, their bodies draped like liquid silk over the stone, absorbing the warmth of the sun while keeping one paw dipped in the cool shadows of the columns, masters of comfort and kings of their own domain. You enter the great temple now, passing through towering pylons carved with hieroglyphs that tell stories of gods and stars, and inside, the light is dim and golden, filtered through high windows, creating a sanctuary of silence and peace, where the outside world feels miles away. Here, the cats roam freely, fed on the finest fish from the Nile and milk served in bowls of gold, treated with a gentleness that borders on the holy. For to look into the eyes of a cat in this time is to look into the eyes of the divine, to see the secrets of the universe reflected in those deep amber pools. Priests in clean white linen move silently through the halls, bowing their heads as a cat crosses their path, stepping aside to let the sacred creature pass, and the only sounds are the soft rustle of fabric, the distant rhythmic shaking of a sistrum, and the collective rumbling purr of 100 contented felines, a sound that resonates off the stone walls like a low, healing chant. Move now from the temple to the royal palace of the pharaoh, a place of unimaginable luxury, where the floors are made of polished tile painted to look like a pond full of lotus flowers and fish,
cool and smooth beneath the feet.
In the royal chambers, where the air is perfumed with blue lotus oil, a cat sits upon a cushioned throne, wearing a collar of gold and lapis lazuli, tiny bells chiming softly with every turn of its elegant head. This is the pharaoh's companion, a protector who guards the royal sleep from the snakes of the night and the bad dreams that float in the darkness. And the pharaoh himself, the ruler of the two lands, reaches out a hand to stroke the soft fur, finding solace and peace in the simple, rhythmic breathing of the animal. There's a profound sense of safety here, a belief that as long as the cat is present, the home is secure. For the cat is the warrior of the sun god Ra, the one who slays the serpent of chaos each night so that the sun may rise again in the morning. You can feel this ancient protection wrapping around you, a shield of golden light that keeps the darkness at bay, allowing you to let go of your worries just as the Egyptians did thousands of years ago, trusting in the silent vigil of their feline guardians. The afternoon heat begins to soften as the sun dips lower toward the western horizon, painting the sky in shades of violet, burnt orange, and indigo, and the desert begins to cool, the sand releasing its stored heat back into the air in a gentle rising wave. The cats of Egypt begin to settle for the night, curling into tight circles on woven mats, on the ends of beds, and in the niches of the temple walls, their tails wrapped around their noses, their ears twitching occasionally as they listen to the settling of the stones. You are there with them, lying back on a bed of soft linen, watching the first stars appear above the Nile, the constellation of Orion the hunter rising slowly, followed by Sirius, the dog star, though here, in the heart of Egypt, it is the cat who rules the night. The silence of the desert is absolute, a deep, heavy silence that is not empty, but full of rest, a silence that has existed for millions of years. And in this silence, the purring of the cat beside you seems to amplify, becoming the only sound in the world, a steady, rhythmic vibration that travels through the bed, through your skin, and into your very bones, loosening every knot of stress, calming every racing thought. It is the sound of pure existence, of a creature that knows no worry, no tomorrow, only the perfect comfort of the now, and it invites you to join it in that state of being, to exist only in this moment of warmth and softness. The great river flows on outside, a dark, moving mirror reflecting the moon, carrying life to the sea, and the palm trees whisper secrets to the wind. But inside the palace, inside the temple, inside the sanctuary of your mind, everything is still. You can imagine the goddess Bastet herself, with the head of a lioness or a domestic cat, standing guard over your dreams, her presence a warm, glowing light that banishes fear and brings only sweet, restorative slumber. The Golden Age is not just a time in history, it is a feeling, a sensation of being cherished, of being safe, of being surrounded by beauty and warmth. And as you sink deeper into your pillow, you can feel the golden sands of the dream world rising to meet you, soft and inviting. The eyes of the statues seem to close, the hieroglyphs fade into the shadows, and the world of the pharaohs sleeps, leaving only the timeless spirit of the cat to watch over the transition from wakefulness to rest. Let the image of the golden cat, the sun-soaked stone, and the blue river fill your mind, crowding out the noise of the modern day, replacing it with the slow, majestic pace of ancient times. Your breathing slows to match the flow of the Nile, deep and steady. Your heart beats in time with the temple drums of long ago, soft and distant, and your body feels as heavy as the stone blocks of the pyramids, grounded, solid, and immovable.
Sleep comes now not as a stranger, but as a welcome friend, guided by the guardians of the Nile, who have watched over the sleep of kings and queens, priests and peasants for millennia, and who now watch over you. The golden light fades to a comforting velvet black, the purring softens to a whisper, and you drift away, safe in the knowledge that you are protected, you are warm, and you are deeply, profoundly at peace.
Leave behind the golden heat of the Egyptian desert now, and let your mind travel on the back of the wind, drifting eastward across the vast and rugged map of the ancient world, following the dusty, winding trails of the Silk Road that stretch like a lifeline connecting the west to the east. The journey is long and slow, moving at the rhythmic pace of a camel caravan, swaying beneath a canopy of stars so bright and close they seem to brush against the snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas. And nestled within these caravans, amidst the bales of woven silk, the jars of fragrant spices, and the precious stones, travels the cat, a quiet passenger on a voyage to a new destiny. The landscape shifts and changes as the miles roll by, transforming from arid dunes to misty valleys where the air is thick with moisture and the scent of pine, and the cat watches it all with knowing, ancient eyes, carried in baskets of woven wicker, protected like a royal treasure as it crosses the roof of the world to arrive in the verdant, mysterious lands of China and Japan. Here, the cat does not walk on hot sand, but on the cool, polished wooden floors of mountain monasteries and the soft, reed tatami mats of secluded temples, entering a world where silence is not just an absence of noise, but a spiritual practice, a heavy, comforting blanket that covers the soul. Imagine a high mountain peak in ancient China, shrouded in a perpetual swirling mist that clings to the twisted branches of pine trees and hides the valley floor far below, creating a sense of isolation and perfect peace. And perched on this cliff is a monastery with sweeping tiled roofs that curve upward toward the heavens. Inside, the air is still and smells of sandalwood incense and old ink, a dry, woody scent that instantly calms the mind. And it is here that the cat finds its new purpose, not as a god, but as a silent guardian of wisdom, a protector of the sacred. The monks, in their saffron and crimson robes, move like ghosts through the dim corridors, their footsteps soundless on the wood, and the cat moves with them, a shadow within a shadow, its paws soft as silk, making no sound as it patrols the great libraries where thousands of scrolls of rice paper and parchment are stored. These scrolls contain the history of dynasties, the poetry of the ages, and the sutras of enlightenment, knowledge that is fragile and susceptible to the gnawing teeth of mice and silverfish. And so the cat becomes the watcher in the dark, the sentinel who ensures that the wisdom of the past is preserved for the future. There is a deep meditative rhythm to life here, a routine of rising with the sun, of chanting that vibrates low in the chest, and of long hours of sitting in absolute stillness. And the cat is the master of this stillness, curling up on the corner of a scholar's desk, tucking its paws beneath its chest and closing its eyes while the scholar's brush dances silently over the paper.
The rain begins to fall outside, a gentle, steady drumming on the roof tiles, a sound that wraps the monastery in a cocoon of water and mist, isolating it from the rest of the world. And the cat listens to the rain, its ears swiveling slowly, its breathing slowing down to match the drop of the water from the eaves. You can feel this tranquility seeping into your own bones, the feeling of being high above the worries of the world, protected by the mist in the mountains, safe
in a room full of books and quiet thoughts, with a warm, purring presence beside you. The journey continues, crossing the narrow sea to the islands of Japan, where the cat is welcomed into the Zen gardens and the imperial courts, admired for its tail, which is sometimes short and bobbed like a chrysanthemum flower, and its coat of calico, white, ginger, and black, a symbol of good luck and fortune. Picture a traditional Japanese temple in the ancient capital of Kyoto, surrounded by a garden of moss and stones, where the rocks are placed with such intention that they look like islands in a sea of raked green, and the cat sits on the wooden veranda, the engawa, watching the leaves of the maple trees turn red and gold in the autumn breeze. The sliding doors of rice paper, the shoji, are open to the garden, blurring the line between the indoors and the outdoors, and the only sound is the rhythmic clacking of a bamboo deer scare, filling with water and tipping over, a hollow wooden sound that punctuates the silence and makes it deeper. The cat walks slowly across the tatami mats, the woven straw warm and textured beneath its feet, and finds a spot where a beam of sunlight has pierced through the paper screens, illuminating a patch of floor in a warm golden glow. It circles once, twice, 3 times before settling down, its body becoming a heavy liquid weight, surrendering completely to the pull of the earth, teaching us the art of doing nothing, of simply being, of existing in the moment without a past or a future. The monks respect the cat as a fellow meditator, for they see in the feline form the perfect embodiment of Zen, a creature that is always alert, yet always relaxed, ready to move, but content to be still, a master of conserving energy. As night falls over the temple, stone lanterns flicker to life in the garden, casting long, dancing shadows across the moss, and the temple bell rings out, a deep, resonant boom that travels for miles through the valley, fading slowly into a hum that vibrates in the air long after the sound is gone. The cat does not startle at the bell, for it knows this sound. It is the heartbeat of its home, and instead it stretches out a paw, claws extending and retracting in a slow, pleasurable rhythm before curling tighter into a ball of warmth. You are there in the temple, lying on a futon of soft cotton, smelling the faint scent of cedarwood and tatami, listening to the wind rustling the bamboo grove outside, a sound like 1,000 whispering voices hushing you to sleep.
The presence of the cat is a grounding force, a reminder that you are safe, that the scrolls are safe, that the temple stands strong against the elements, and that there is nothing you need to do right now but let go. The atmosphere is thick with centuries of peace, a peace that has soaked into the wood and the stones, a peace that the cat absorbs and radiates back to you through its steady, rumbling purr, a sound that seems to say that all is well, all is balanced, all is as it should be. The ancient world of the East is a world of shadows and light, of ink and paper, of tea ceremonies and silent contemplation, and in the center of it all is the cat, the silken-pawed guardian who walks between the worlds, who protects the knowledge of the ancients while they sleep. Allow yourself to drift into this misty landscape, to feel the cool mountain air on your face and the warmth of the cat against your side, to see the moon rising over the pagoda, turning the world into a landscape of silver and ink. The worries of your day are like the clouds that drift past the mountain peak, here one moment and gone the next, dissolving into nothingness, leaving behind only the clear blue sky of your mind. The cat's breathing is deep and slow,
a rhythmic rise and fall that guides your own breath, slower and deeper, inhaling the peace of the temple, exhaling the tension of the world, sinking further and further into the mattress, into the floor, into the earth itself. There is a profound sense of honor in this rest, a feeling that you have earned this quiet moment, just as the monks earned their enlightenment. And the cat, the wise and silent master, is your guide into the realm of dreams. The candle flame flickers and dies, leaving the room in a soft, comforting darkness, and the only light comes from the moon glowing through the paper screens, a pale, milky light that washes over the room like a tide. You are safe in the sanctuary of the East, guarded by the silken paws that have traveled the Silk Road, that have walked the halls of emperors, and that now watch over your sleep with the same dedication they gave to the ancient scrolls. Sleep now, surrounded by the scent of old paper and pine, lulled by the sound of the rain and the wind in the bamboo, drifting down, down into the deep, timeless silence of the temple, where the only reality is the peace of the present moment. Let the gentle winds of the trade routes fill the sails of your imagination once more, carrying you away from the misty temples of the East and back toward the glittering heart of the Mediterranean, where the sea is a deep, impossible shade of sapphire blue, and the sky stretches out in an endless dome of azure. We are traveling now to the cradle of Western civilization, to the sun-drenched islands of Greece and the 7 Hills of Rome, a land where history is written in stone, and the air smells of wild thyme, salty sea spray, and the ripening olives in the groves. The cat arrives here not as a god to be worshipped from afar, but as a traveler, a companion, and a curious explorer, stepping off the wooden decks of merchant ships onto the warm, solid earth of the harbor, shaking the salt from its fur and lifting its nose to catch the scent of a new world. In ancient Greece, the light is different. It is sharp and clear, illuminating the whitewashed walls of the houses and the towering marble columns of the Parthenon until they gleam like pearls against the blue sky. And the cat moves through this landscape with a newfound sense of independence. The Greeks do not bow to the cat, but they admire it deeply, for in the feline form they see the spirit of liberty, a creature that cannot be owned, that cannot be forced, a creature that gives its affection only when it chooses, and this mutual respect creates a bond of freedom that feels as fresh and bracing as the coastal wind. Imagine a cat in Athens walking along the top of a stone wall warmed by the afternoon sun, its silhouette cut sharply against the horizon, watching the philosophers debate in the agora below, indifferent to their arguments, concerned only with the warmth of the stone and the rhythm of the cicadas buzzing in the cypress trees. The cat jumps down, landing silently on the dusty path, and makes its way into the cool, shaded courtyard of a home, where the noise of the city fades into a distant hum, and the only sound is the dripping of water into a clay basin. It is here that the transition begins, the movement from the wild to the domestic heart of Europe, as the cat curls up on a woven rug, accepting a scrap of fish from a hand that respects its autonomy, and sleeps the deep, untroubled sleep of the free. The scene shifts now, expanding in grandeur and scale, as we move across the Ionian Sea to the mighty Italian peninsula, to the eternal city of Rome, where the architecture rises in triumphant arches and vast domes, and the cat finds a home among the marble and the mosaics. Rome is a city of stone, of cool, smooth surfaces that offer relief from the heat of the Italian summer, and the cat becomes the master of these spaces, gliding through the atriums of sprawling villas where the floors are intricate pictures made of tiny colored stones, cool and soothing beneath velvet paws.
In the Roman household, the cat is a symbol of libertas, the goddess of freedom, often depicted lying at her feet, representing the idea that true liberty means being beholden to no one. And you can feel that spirit of independence rising within you, a permission to be yourself, to let go of the expectations of others, to simply be. Picture a Roman villa at twilight, when the sky turns a deep, bruised purple and the first lamps are being lit, casting a warm, flickering glow on the frescoed walls. The air is cooling down, carrying the scent of rosemary from the garden and the faint, sweet smell of grapes fermenting in the winepress. And the cat walks with a slow, deliberate grace across the polished marble floor, the click of its claws audible only as a whisper, a tiny percussion in the quiet house. It jumps up onto a low stone bench near the impluvium, the shallow pool in the center of the atrium that catches the rain, and watches the reflection of the moon rippling in the water, a silver disk dancing in the dark. The water is cool, the stone is cool, and the night air is a gentle caress against the skin, and you can feel yourself entering this space, walking barefoot on the smooth marble, feeling the solid, grounding energy of the earth beneath you. The cat stretches, arching its back in a long, elegant curve, extending its paws to release the last of the day's tension, before settling down into a tight, comfortable loaf, tucking its tail around its body like a scarf. In Rome, the cat is a welcome guest, a protector of the pantry, yes, but also a quiet presence that makes the vast, echoing rooms feel like a home, filling the empty spaces with the soft, vibrating sound of its purr. You can imagine the heavy woolen togas of the Romans, the sound of leather sandals on stone, the distant rumble of a chariot on the Appian Way. But here, in the sanctuary of the home, there is only peace. The moonlight streams through the open roof, bathing the atrium in a pale, ethereal light that turns the cat's fur to silver and casts long, soft shadows across the floor, creating a world of monochrome beauty where everything is soft, everything is still. The cat closes its eyes, trusting in the safety of the villa, trusting in the thick walls that keep out the noise and the chaos of the empire. And as it sleeps, it invites you to do the same, to build a wall of quiet around your own mind, to shut out the noise of your own empire, and find a quiet corner of marble and moonlight where you can rest. The connection between the cat and the human here is undemanding. It is a companionship of shared space and shared silence, a silent agreement to let the night take over, to let the concerns of the day fade away like the mist over the Tiber River.
You are drifting now, floating through the corridors of history, feeling the coolness of the ancient stone seeping into your muscles, soothing the heat of the day, calming the inflammation of worry, leaving you feeling cool, clean, and heavy with sleep. The statues of the gods and ancestors stand in the alcoves, silent witnesses to the night, their marble eyes watching over the sleeping household. And the cat is a living statue, a monument to relaxation, breathing in the sweet night air. Every breath you take transports you deeper into this Roman night, deeper into the feeling of security and liberty, the freedom to rest without guilt, the freedom to let the world spin on without you for a while. The fountains in the garden trickle softly, a sound like liquid glass, and the leaves of the laurel trees rustle with a dry, paper-like sound, weaving a tapestry of white noise that covers you, holds you, and gently pushes you down into the mattress.
The grandeur of Rome is not in its armies or its emperors tonight, but in this quiet moment of domestic peace, in the soft fur of a cat sleeping on a marble floor, in the silver light of the moon that touches everything with grace. You are part of this timeless scene, a silent observer in the shadows, feeling the weight of the centuries settling over you like a warm quilt, a comforting heaviness that makes your eyelids flutter and close. The cat's purr is the sound of the earth itself, a low-frequency rumble that grounds you, that connects you to the history of all living things that have sought shelter and rest in the night. The marble is smooth and cool, the moonlight is soft and kind, and the world is at peace, suspended in the amber of history, waiting for the sun that is hours away. For now, there is only the sleep of the just, the sleep of the free, the sleep of the cat who knows that the night belongs to those who rest. Let go of the marble, let go of the moon, and simply float in the darkness that follows, a darkness that is rich and velvety and full of dreams, guided by the silent, silken paws of the guardians of Greece and Rome, leading you down, down, down into the deepest, most restorative slumber.
The bright Mediterranean sun sets slowly behind the horizon of history, and the scene shifts as we drift forward in time, moving north across the continent of Europe, leaving behind the open marble courtyards for a landscape wrapped in the enchanting, swirling mists of the Middle Ages. We have arrived in a time of castles and cottages, of stone walls and thatched roofs, a time when the world was vast and mysterious, and the night was a kingdom unto itself, ruled by shadows and silence. In this era, the cat becomes the velvet wanderer, a creature of secrecy and stealth, moving unseen through the fog that clings to the cobblestone streets of medieval towns, a silent observer in a world illuminated only by the flicker of torches and the pale glow of the moon. The air here is cool and damp, smelling of wood smoke from 100 chimneys, of wet earth and pine forests, and the atmosphere is thick with a quiet magic, a sense that the world is sleeping under a heavy enchantment. Imagine a small village nestled in a valley where the houses are timber-framed and the windows are small and thick with glass, glowing with a warm orange light that spills out onto the wet stones. The village is asleep, the doors are barred against the cold, but the cat is awake, patrolling the perimeter with a confidence that belongs only to the night. It moves with a fluid grace, its fur thick and plush to ward off the chill, its paws making no sound on the damp earth as it slips through a gap in a wooden fence and enters the warm, fragrant sanctuary of a barn. Inside, the air is completely different. It is rich and warm, filled with the sweet, earthy scent of dried hay and the comforting, milky smell of the livestock that sleep in the stalls. The barn is a cathedral of rustic comfort, where the wind whistling outside is just a distant song that makes the interior feel even safer, even more protected. The cat climbs up a wooden ladder, its claws gripping the rough grain of the wood, and finds a loft filled with mounds of golden straw, soft and yielding. Here, high above the ground, the cat begins to knead the hay, circling round and round to create a perfect cup-shaped nest, a private haven where it can curl up and hide from the world. You can feel the scratching of the straw, the softness of the nest, the warmth rising from the animals below, and as the cat settles down, tucking its nose into its tail, you feel a deep sense of coziness, a feeling of being hidden away in a secret place where no one can find you and nothing can disturb your rest. But the cat is not just a barn dweller in these times, it is also a scholar's companion,
a silent resident of the great stone monasteries and abbeys that dot the landscape, places where knowledge is kept alive by the light of a beeswax candle. Travel now in your mind to a high-ceilinged library in an old stone tower, where the walls are lined with shelves of heavy leather-bound books and scrolls of parchment. The room is drafty, the stone walls radiating a deep, ancient chill. But there is a large hearth at one end of the room where a log fire burns steadily, casting dancing shadows that stretch and shrink across the floor. A monk sits at a desk, his quill scratching rhythmically against the paper as he copies a manuscript, the only sound in the vast silence of the abbey. And there, sitting on the corner of the heavy oak desk, is the cat, watching the movement of the quill with intense golden eyes, a guardian of the words, a protector of the silence. The cat is the only other living soul in the room, a source of warmth and life in the austere environment, and occasionally it stretches out a paw to bat gently at the feather of the quill, a playful reminder of the simple joys of existence. The monk pauses to stroke the cat's head, his rough hand smoothing the velvet fur, and a low purr begins to rumble through the quiet room, a sound that harmonizes with the crackling of the fire. There is a profound sense of solitude here, but it is not a lonely solitude, it is a peaceful one, a shared quiet between man and beast as they work and rest while the rest of the world sleeps. The mist outside presses against the stained glass windows, turning the world beyond into a blur of gray and blue. But inside, the circle of light from the candle creates a cozy island of focus and calm. The cat hops down from the desk and walks over to the rug in front of the fire, the heat warming its fur, the stone floor radiating the warmth of the embers. It stretches long and thin, extending its claws into the wool of the rug before collapsing onto its side, exposing its belly to the warmth, completely trusting, completely at ease. In the Middle Ages, cats were often seen as mysterious, creatures that could walk between the worlds of the seen and the unseen. And as you watch the cat sleep by the fire, you can understand why. There is a wisdom in its stillness, a secret knowledge in its closed eyes, as if it is traveling through dreams that we can only imagine. You are part of this secret world now, tucked away in the tower, safe behind thick stone walls that have stood for centuries and will stand for centuries more. The storm may blow outside, the fog may roll through the valleys, but here, by the fire, there is only warmth and the rhythmic sound of breathing. The heavy velvet curtains are drawn, shutting out the night, and the smell of old paper and burning wood acts as a sedative, heavy and pleasant, pulling your eyelids down. The cat's purr grows deeper, a hypnotic vibration that seems to slow the very passage of time, stretching the seconds into minutes, the minutes into hours of unbroken rest.
You can feel the weight of the history around you, the thousands of books standing guard, the silent prayers of the monks, the peaceful slumber of the village in the valley below. Everything is still, everything is paused, waiting for the morning that is far, far away. The cat twitches an ear in its sleep, chasing a phantom mouse in a dream, then settles deeper into the rug, a ball of soft fur and contentment. Let yourself become like the cat, finding the warmest, softest spot in the room, curling inward to protect your own warmth, shutting out the cold mist of worry and the dark fog of stress. You are a traveler through the mist, but you have found your shelter. You have found your barn, your library, your fire. The medieval night is not something to fear, but a blanket to wrap around yourself, a time of deep, restorative hibernation where the soul can rest and repair.
The fire burns down to glowing coals, shifting with a soft rustle of ash, and the room grows dimmer, the shadows softening until they merge with the darkness. The cat does not move. Its sleep is deep and heavy, the sleep of a creature that knows it is safe. And you follow its lead, letting your body sink into the bed, letting your mind release the last threads of consciousness. The mist swirls outside, wrapping the world in silence, muting the sounds of the earth, creating a cocoon of white noise that lulls you deeper. You are safe in the tower, safe in the barn, safe in the night. The velvet wanderer has led you through the fog and into the light of the fire, and now it leads you into the soft, warm, welcoming darkness of sleep. The scratching of the quill has stopped, the fire is a soft glow, and the only sound left is the purr, steady and rhythmic, a lullaby from the past that carries you gently, slowly, into the land of dreams.
The heavy mists of the medieval forest slowly lift and dissipate as the wheel of history turns once more, revealing a world bathed in the warm, golden light of the Italian sun, a light that heralds the dawn of the Renaissance, the rebirth of culture, art, and the human spirit. We find ourselves now in the bustling, vibrant streets of Florence and the romantic canals of Venice, where the air is filled with the excitement of discovery and the scent of drying oil paint, turpentine, and fresh parchment. In this era of enlightenment, the cat steps out of the shadows of the barn and the secret library to take its place in the center of the creative world, becoming a muse to the greatest minds history has ever known, a creature of perfect proportion and grace that fascinates the artists who are learning to see the world with new eyes. Imagine walking into the cluttered, sunlit studio of a master painter, a large, airy room with high windows that let in the northern light, illuminating the dust motes that dance in the air like tiny stars. The room is filled with the tools of creation, wooden easels holding half-finished canvases, tables scattered with jars of colored pigments made from crushed lapis lazuli and ochre, brushes of every size, and sketches of anatomy pinned to the walls. And there, in the midst of this creative chaos, sits the cat, a calm and steady presence, the eye of the storm. It might be a sleek black cat with eyes like green marbles, or a fluffy tabby with stripes that mimic the shadows of the room, perched high on a wooden stool, watching the painter mix his colors with a rhythmic, meditative motion. The artist looks at the cat and sees not just an animal, but a masterpiece of nature, a creature that moves with a biomechanical perfection that no machine can replicate. And he picks up a piece of charcoal to capture the curve of its spine, the delicate structure of its paw, the way its ear twists to catch the sound of a church bell ringing in the distance. The cat does not pose for fame or glory. It poses because the stool is warm and the studio is quiet, and it eventually closes its eyes, drifting into a nap, becoming a living statue of tranquility. You can feel the peace of the studio, the concentration in the air, the scratching of the charcoal on paper, a sound that is dry and soothing, like the rustle of autumn leaves. The cat becomes part of the art, immortalized in the corner of great paintings, sitting at the feet of saints, or curled up under the table of a festive banquet, a reminder that even in the most holy or grand moments, life goes on in its simple, quiet way. Now let the scene shift from the artist's studio to the quiet, candlelit study of an astronomer, a man who spends his nights looking up at the stars, trying to understand the movement of the heavens. The room is filled with globes of brass and wood, maps of the constellations, and heavy books that smell of leather and dust. A large telescope points out the open window toward the moon, and the night air blows gently into the room, cool and crisp. The astronomer is lost in thought,
his brow furrowed as he calculates the orbit of a planet. But he is not alone. The cat is there, walking across the desk with a delicate, deliberate step, carefully avoiding the ink pot and the fragile instruments before settling down right on top of the star charts, claiming the center of the scholar's world. The astronomer smiles, his frustration melting away at the sight of his furry companion, and he reaches out to stroke the cat's back, feeling the vibration of the purr against his palm. This purr is the sound of the Renaissance, a low, steady rhythm that grounds the soaring intellect, a reminder that while the mind may travel to the edges of the universe, the body is here, on Earth, in this warm room. The cat does not care about the heliocentric theory or the rotation of the Earth. It cares only about the warmth of the candle and the affection of its human. And in this simplicity, there is a profound wisdom. The cat teaches the scholar to pause, to breathe, to appreciate the here and now. You are there in the study, surrounded by the wisdom of the ages, feeling the cool night breeze on your face and the warmth of the concept of discovery. The room is a sanctuary of thought, a place where the mysteries of the universe are unraveled in silence, and the cat is the guardian of this silence. As the astronomer returns to his work, the cat falls asleep, its breathing deep and rhythmic, its tail twitching occasionally as it dreams of chasing comets across the sky. The bond between the thinker and the cat is a bridge between the intellectual and the instinctual, a balance that allows the mind to rest even while it works. The Renaissance was a time of looking forward, of breaking old boundaries, but for the cat, time is a circle, a cycle of waking and sleeping, hunting and resting, and it brings this timeless energy into the room, anchoring the human spirit. The light of the candle flickers, casting long shadows that dance on the walls, and the cat's fur glows softly in the warm light, a landscape of gold and shadow. You can imagine the texture of the paper, the smoothness of the brass telescope, the softness of the cat's fur, all of these sensory details weaving together to create a tapestry of comfort. The world outside is changing rapidly. New continents are being mapped, new ideas are being printed, but inside the study, everything is still. The cat is a symbol of continuity, a witness to the dawn of the modern world who remains unchanged, a creature that has walked through history with the same silent paws, the same mysterious eyes, the same comforting purr. Let yourself sink into the atmosphere of the Renaissance, into the feeling of potential and peace, where art and science meet in the quiet presence of a sleeping cat. The creativity of the era is not a frantic energy, but a slow, unfolding bloom, like a flower opening to the sun, and you are part of that blooming, part of that gentle expansion. The purr of the cat seems to fill the room, bouncing softly off the walls, entering your ears and traveling down to your heart, slowing its beat to a leisurely pace. You are the artist, you are the astronomer, you are the observer, finding inspiration in the quiet moments of rest. The heavy velvet curtains of the study are drawn against the coming dawn, preserving the night for just a little longer, and the world is suspended in a state of perfect balance. The cat shifts, stretching a paw over its nose, and settles deeper into sleep, and you follow it, letting go of your own thoughts, letting go of the need to understand or create, and simply allowing yourself to be. The ink dries on the page, the paint dries on the canvas, and the history of the world is written in the silence of the night. You are safe here, among the Muses, among the stars, among the gentle, sleeping spirits of the past. The Renaissance purr is a lullaby that has lasted for centuries, a sound that says that beauty is real, that truth is quiet, and that sleep is the most natural art of all. Drift away on this river of golden light and shadow, floating past the canals of Venice, past the domes of Florence, into the deep, dark, velvety sky of your own dreams, guided by the wise and ancient spirit of the cat.
The golden light of the Renaissance slowly fades into the gray and misty horizon of the Atlantic as we step forward into a time of great courage and new beginnings, leaving the solid ground of Europe behind to embark on a journey that will shape the destiny of a continent. We are standing now on the wooden docks of Plymouth, England, in the year 1620, where the air is thick with the smell of brine, wet rope, and tar, and the cry of seagulls overhead mixes with the creaking of heavy timbers as a small but sturdy ship bobs gently on the tide. This is the Mayflower, a vessel of hope and determination, and as the barrels of fresh water, the sacks of hardtack, and the crates of tools are loaded into the hold, a small, agile figure slips unnoticed up the gangplank, a creature of instinct who knows that where the grain goes, the mice will follow, and where the mice go, the hunter must be. This is the ship's cat, a brave voyager with salt already matting its thick fur, a silent guardian who has no concept of the new world or the history it is about to help write, but who understands the language of the sea and the rhythm of the waves better than any human. The ropes are cast off, the canvas sails unfurl with a snap like a thunderclap, catching the wind that blows from the east, and the ship begins to move, cutting through the gray waters, leaving the safety of the known world for the vast, open mystery of the ocean. Days turn into weeks, and the land disappears completely, leaving only a circle of restless blue water and a dome of changing sky, and the cat becomes the master of this floating wooden world, adapting to the constant motion of the deck with a natural, fluid grace that the humans envy. Down in the dark, crowded hold, where the air is close and smells of damp wood and biscuits, the cat is at work, patrolling the narrow spaces between the barrels, its eyes glowing yellow in the lantern light, protecting the precious food supply that stands between the passengers and starvation. There is a deep, primal comfort in knowing that this small predator is on guard, ensuring that the grain remains safe, and the settlers, huddled together in the dim light, listening to the water rushing past the hull, find a strange solace in the sight of the cat stalking through the shadows. The ocean is a cradle, vast and deep, and the ship is a tiny seed floating upon it, rocking back and forth, a rhythmic motion that mimics the breathing of the world itself. You can feel this rocking motion now, a gentle swaying that loosens your muscles, that unhinges your jaw, that softens the tension in your shoulders, as if you too are floating on a calm, endless sea. The cat feels it too, but instead of fighting it, it moves with it, shifting its weight effortlessly as the ship climbs a swell and slides down the other side, finding the most stable spot on a coil of thick hemp rope or a folded canvas sail to curl up and sleep.
Imagine the sound of the ocean at night, a deep, resonant shh that never stops, a white noise that wraps around the ship like a blanket, drowning out the creaks and groans of the wood, drowning out the worries of the travelers. The cat ventures up to the main deck under the cover of darkness, stepping carefully on the salt-crusted planks, the wind ruffling its fur, and looks out at the water which reflects the light of 1 billion stars. These are the same stars that guided the ancestors in the desert, the same stars that watched over the temples of Egypt. But here, in the middle of the Atlantic, they seem brighter, sharper, closer, hanging like lanterns from the rigging of the sky. The cat sits by the rail, a silhouette against the Milky Way, tasting the salt on its whiskers, watching the phosphorescent foam trailing behind the rudder, a glowing path that leads back to the past, while the bow points steadily toward the future. There's a bravery in this small creature, a stoic acceptance of the journey, and its presence offers a silent reassurance to the sailor on watch who shivers in the cold spray. The sailor reaches down, his hand rough from work, and scratches the cat behind the ears, and for a moment, the vast, lonely ocean feels a little less empty, a little less cold. The cat leans into the touch, arching its back, and a purr begins to rumble in its chest, a sound that is felt more than heard over the wind, a vibration of pure warmth and life in the midst of the watery wilderness. You are there on the deck, feeling the cool, clean air filling your lungs, tasting the salt on your lips, feeling the immense power of the ocean rolling beneath you, not as a threat, but as a force that carries you, supports you, rocks you. The ship is a capsule of life, a wooden shell protecting the dreams of a new nation, and the cat is the heart of that shell, a furry anchor of domesticity in a wild environment. As the night deepens, the cat returns to the warmth of the lower decks, finding a nook between two warm bodies of sleeping children who have nestled together for comfort. The cat squeezes in, adding its own warmth to theirs, and the children stir in their sleep, reaching out unconsciously to touch the soft fur, their dreams becoming sweeter, safer, because the guardian is there.
The storm may rage outside, the waves may crash against the timber, but inside, in the center of the ship, there is a pocket of calm, a dry, warm space where life breathes in a slow, steady rhythm. The voyage is long, the weeks stretching into months, but the cat does not count the days. It lives only in the moment, hunting when it is hungry, sleeping when it is tired, enduring the wet and the cold with a patience that is ancient and profound. This is the spirit of survival, the spirit that will land on Plymouth Rock and step into the wild forests of America, the spirit that will sit by the fires of log cabins and watch over the first harvests of corn and pumpkins. But for now, there is only the water, the wood, and the sleep. The ship rolls gently to the left, then gently to the right, a hypnotic pendulum that swings you deeper and deeper into relaxation. The smells of the ship, the oak, the pine tar, the wool, the dried herbs, blend into a scent of history, a scent of travel, earthy and grounding. You can imagine the heavy eyelids of the passengers, the hush that falls over the ship in the deepest part of the night, when even the wind seems to whisper. The cat is asleep now, its tail twitching as it dreams of solid ground, of green grass, of birds that do not fly over the sea. But its body is relaxed, yielding to the movement of the waves, trusting the ship to hold it. You too can trust the ship, trust the journey, trust that you are being carried toward a new dawn, a new world of rest and rejuvenation. The stars wheel overhead, marking the passage of time in slow, majestic arcs, and the moon casts a silver road across the black water, a road that leads straight into the heart of your dreams. The salt spray settles like a blessing, cleansing, purifying, washing away the old world to make room for the new. The purr of the cat merges with the hum of the wind in the rigging, creating a symphony of sleep that surrounds you, penetrates you, and weighs you down with a comfortable, heavy drowsiness. You are safe on this voyage, protected by the brave little spirit with the salt on its fur, rocking, drifting, sailing through the velvet night toward the shores of sleep. The horizon is far away, the destination is certain, and there is nothing for you to do but lie back and let the ocean carry you. Down, down into the hold of the ship, into the warm, dry straw, into the soft fur, into the darkness that is kind and deep. The Mayflower sails on, a ghost ship in the mists of time, and you sail with it, a passenger on the sea of tranquility,
guided by the salt and the stars and the silent, sleeping cat. Step off the rocking decks of the wooden ships now and feel the solid, unmoving earth beneath your feet, a ground covered in a carpet of rust-colored pine needles and fallen oak leaves that dampen every footstep, leading us away from the coast and into the deep embrace of the American frontier. We have arrived in the era of the early settlers, a time of log cabins and vast, whispering forests where the world is painted in the colors of the harvest, deep oranges, russet browns, and the fading green of the wilderness. The air here is crisp and clean, smelling of wood smoke drifting from stone chimneys, of sticky pine resin and the earthy scent of turning soil. And in this new, rugged world, the cat has found a home that is both wild and warm, becoming the essential guardian of the homestead. Imagine a small clearing carved out of the dense woods where a sturdy cabin made of hand-hewn logs stands against the backdrop of a twilight sky, the smoke from its hearth curling up to meet the first stars of the evening. This is a place of hard work and simple rewards, where the rhythm of life is dictated by the rising and setting of the sun, and the cat is the silent partner in this dance of survival. It is a barn cat, a creature of robust health and thick fur, perhaps a tabby with stripes that match the shadows of the forest, or a calico with patches of color like the autumn leaves. It spends its days in the barn, a large, airy structure filled with the golden bounty of the harvest, where stacks of dried corn stalks rustle in the breeze, and mounds of orange pumpkins sit ready for the winter. The barn smells of sweet hay, of dried tobacco hanging from the rafters, and of the warm, milky scent of the cow chewing its cud in the stall. The cat patrols this domain with a serious dedication, its yellow eyes scanning the shadows for the movement of mice that would steal the family's grain. For in this time, the cat is not just a pet, but a protector of the food supply, a vital link in the chain that keeps the family safe through the long, cold winter. But as the sun dips below the tree line and the air turns biting and cold, the work of the day is done, and the cat makes its way across the frosty yard toward the warm, inviting glow of the cabin windows. The door opens with a creak of iron hinges, releasing a wave of heat and the smell of baking bread and roasting meat, and the cat slips inside, leaving the wild night behind for the sanctuary of the hearth. The interior of the cabin is a masterpiece of cozy functionality, with walls of rough wood that glow like amber in the firelight, and a floor of packed earth or smooth planks that have been swept clean. The center of this world is the fireplace, a massive cavern of stone where a fire roars and crackles, consuming the logs of hickory and maple that were cut from the surrounding woods.
The heat is intense and immediate, thawing the chill from the cat's fur, and it walks slowly toward the hearth, its tail held high, weaving between the legs of the heavy wooden chairs and the spinning wheel that sits in the corner. The family is gathered here, resting after the day's labor, the mother mending a quilt made of scraps of wool and linen, the father cleaning his tools, the children playing quietly on a rag rug. The cat jumps up onto the bench beside the fire, turning around 3 times to trample an invisible bed before settling down into a tight, contented ball, its paws tucked neatly beneath its chest. There is a profound sense of peace in this scene, a feeling of safety that is amplified by the vast darkness of the forest outside. You can hear the wind howling through the tall pines, a lonely whistling sound that speaks of the vastness of the American continent. But inside, the fire snaps and pops, a cheerful conversation of heat and light. The cat begins to clean itself, its rough tongue rasping over its fur in a rhythmic, repetitive motion that is incredibly soothing to watch, a grooming ritual that has not changed since the days of the Sphinx. As it grooms, it begins to purr,
a sound that starts low in the throat and grows until it seems to fill the entire cabin, a steady, mechanical thrumming that resonates with the crackling of the fire. This is the sound of home, the sound of a job well done, the sound of a creature that is completely at ease in its environment. You are there in the cabin, sitting in a rocking chair that moves back and forth with a gentle creak, feeling the warmth of the fire on your face and the heavy, comforting weight of a quilt draped over your legs. The smell of the pine logs burning is aromatic and sleepy, a natural sedative that clears the mind and opens the chest. You watch the cat, its eyes closing slowly, fighting the heaviness of sleep before finally surrendering, its head resting on its paws, its breathing becoming deep and slow. The shadows in the room dance and flicker, painting pictures on the walls, softening the edges of the furniture, creating a world that is soft and fluid. The spinning wheel hums a monotonous drone-like song as the thread is spun, a sound that works its way into your mind, untangling the knots of your thoughts, spinning them into a smooth, long thread of relaxation. The connection between the settler and the cat is one of mutual respect and silent companionship, a bond forged in the quiet moments of the evening when the work is finished. In this early American night, there are no distractions, no lights other than the fire and the tallow candles, no sounds other than the wind and the fire and the purr.
It is a simple life, stripped of all complexity, leaving only the essential elements of warmth, shelter, and rest. You can feel the history of the land in the floorboards, the strength of the trees in the walls, the spirit of the harvest in the drying herbs that hang from the ceiling beams, filling the air with the faint scent of sage and thyme. The cat twitches in its sleep, perhaps dreaming of the barn, of the rustling corn husks, of the great owl that hoots in the distance. But here by the fire, it is safe. You too are safe, protected by the thick walls of the cabin, protected by the warmth of the hearth, protected by the presence of the guardian cat. The fire burns down to a bed of glowing red coals, pulsing with a gentle heat that radiates across the room, keeping the chill of the night at bay. The conversation of the family dies down to whispers, then to silence, as the heaviness of sleep presses down on everyone. The cat stretches one leg out, exposing its soft belly to the heat, completely trusting, completely relaxed, a symbol of domestic bliss in the heart of the wild. The world outside is enormous and unknown, but this small circle of light is familiar and kind. Let yourself sink into the feeling of the harvest, the feeling of abundance and preparation, knowing that the barns are full, the wood is stacked, and the winter can come without fear. The scent of the pine logs changes as the wood turns to ash, becoming sweeter, earthier, a scent that grounds you to the earth. Your breathing matches the slow rhythm of the rocking chair, back and forth, a lullaby of motion. The purring of the cat is a constant anchor, a frequency that heals and calms, vibrating through the room like a magical spell. The early American night is long and dark, but it is a darkness of rest, a darkness that allows the body to recover from the toil of the day. You are part of this homestead now, a silent guest by the fire, watching the embers fade, feeling your eyelids grow heavy, so heavy that you can no longer keep them open. The cat is deep in the valley of sleep, and you follow it there, walking through the fields of harvested corn, through the quiet barn, into the deep pine-scented forest of dreams. The cabin fades, the fire becomes a memory of warmth, and there is only the soft velvet darkness, the feeling of the quilt, and the timeless, rhythmic purr of the cat, guiding you into a deep, historical slumber.
The rugged scent of pine and the crackle of the open frontier fire slowly fade into the mists of time as we travel forward again, leaving the log cabins and the barnyards behind to enter a world of refined beauty and soft, muffled quiet. We arrive in the late 19th century, the Gilded Age of America, where the streets of New York City are lined with elegant brown stones and illuminated by the soft, hissing glow of gas lamps that cast golden pools of light onto the cobblestones. In this era of sophistication and grace, the cat undergoes a magnificent transformation, stepping out of the role of the working mouser and ascending to the throne of the pampered pet, becoming a living symbol of luxury, status, and domestic tranquility. Imagine entering a Victorian parlor in a grand house on Fifth Avenue, a room that feels like a jewelry box lined with velvet and lace, where the air is still and smells faintly of lavender water, beeswax polish, and fresh roses arranged in crystal vases. The noise of the city outside, the clatter of horse-drawn carriages, and the bustle of the streets is completely shut out by heavy, floor-length curtains of burgundy velvet, creating a sanctuary of silence where time seems to slow down to the rhythmic ticking of a tall grandfather clock standing in the corner. Here, in this world of plush cushions and Persian rugs, we find the cat, no longer a short-haired hunter of the fields, but a magnificent long-haired Persian or Angora, a creature of clouds and silk that exists simply to be admired and adored. The cat rests upon a dedicated cushion of embroidered satin, its fur groomed to perfection, rippling like water with every breath, and it looks out at the room with heavy-lidded eyes that hold the secrets of 1,000 years of comfort. This is the age where the bond between human and cat becomes one of aesthetic appreciation and deep emotional connection, a time when the first National Cat Show is held at Madison Square Garden in 1895, an event that took the city by storm and elevated the feline to a creature of high society. You can imagine the scene, the vast hall of the garden transformed into a palace for cats, where cages were not cages at all, but miniature parlors lined with silk and adorned with fresh flowers, and where the cats lounged with the dignity of royalty, accepting the admiration of the crowds with a calm, detached grace. The ribbons they won were blue silk, the medals were silver, and the atmosphere was one of gentle celebration, a recognition that this small, purring creature had conquered the hearts of the modern world. But let us return from the excitement of the show to the quiet, private intimacy of the parlor, where the true magic of the Victorian night resides. You are sitting in a high-backed armchair upholstered in soft, tufted leather, the kind that creaks softly as you settle into it, offering perfect support for your tired back.
The fire in the grate is not a roaring blaze, but a contained, glowing bed of coal that radiates a steady, consistent warmth, casting a soft orange light that reflects off the polished mahogany furniture and the brass fender. The cat decides to leave its satin pillow and walks across the room toward you, its paws sinking deep into the thick wool of the carpet, moving with a silence that is absolute, a ghost of white or gray fur drifting through the shadows. It jumps up onto your lap, a weight that is warm and substantial, and begins to settle, kneading your legs with a slow, rhythmic motion that speaks of absolute trust and contentment. You run your hand over its back, feeling the incredible softness of the fur, a texture so fine and dense that it feels like touching a cloud. And with every stroke, the cat's purr grows louder, a deep, resonant rumble that vibrates through your body, loosening the knots in your chest, calming the racing of your mind. In this Victorian era, the act of brushing the cat was a nightly ritual, a meditative practice where the silver brush would glide through the long fur, smoothing it
soothing the animal and soothing the human in return. You can feel that rhythm now, the long, slow strokes of the brush, the feeling of the fur slipping through your fingers, the repetitive motion that lulls you into a trance. The room is filled with objects of beauty, porcelain figurines, leather-bound books with gold lettering, intricate lace doilies, but none are as beautiful or as comforting as the living, breathing creature on your lap. The heavy curtains hold back the night, creating a cocoon of safety, a world within a world where nothing bad can happen, where there is only warmth and softness. The gas lamp flickers slightly, sending shadows dancing gently across the flocked wallpaper, and the ticking of the clock measures out the moments of peace. Tick-tock, tick-tock, a sound that is as steady as a heartbeat. The cat rolls over, exposing its fluffy belly, inviting you to rub it. And as you do, you feel a connection to the people of the past who sat in these same rooms, who felt this same love for their feline companions. It is a lineage of comfort, a history of gentle luxury that has been passed down through the generations. The Victorian night is a long one, a time for reading poetry, for quiet reflection, for simply sitting and being, and the cat is the master of this art. It teaches you that it is all right to be pampered. It is all right to rest on a velvet cushion. It is all right to let the world wait while you enjoy the simple pleasure of warmth. The rain begins to fall outside, tapping against the window pane with a soft, melodic rhythm, a sound that makes the interior feel even cozier, even more removed from the cold reality of the streets.
You are safe in the parlor, safe in the embrace of the past, surrounded by the heavy, comforting textures of velvet and wool and fur. The cat's eyes are closed now, its breathing deep and even, and you feel your own eyes growing heavy, mimicking the cat, learning from its ability to shut out the world and drop instantly into deep sleep. The elegance of the era is not just in the furniture or the clothes, but in the way of life, the appreciation for the slow, the quiet, the beautiful. You are part of that elegance now, a silent figure in a painting of domestic peace, holding the warm weight of the cat, feeling the vibrations of its purr traveling up your arms and into your heart. The coal fire shifts, a soft clinking sound that emphasizes the silence, and the room grows a little dimmer, the shadows lengthening as the night deepens. There is no rush here, no schedule to keep, only the endless stretching time of the night. The cat twitches a whisker, secure in its pedigree, secure in its home, and you feel a wave of gratitude for this small creature that has traveled so far through history to end up here, on your lap, purring you to sleep. The luxury of the Victorian age wraps around you like a heavy, soft blanket, weighting down your limbs, quieting your thoughts, pressing you gently into the chair. You are drifting, floating on a sea of velvet, carried by the gentle current of the cat's purr, moving deeper and deeper into the comfort of the dream world. The gaslight fades to a single golden spark. The clock ticks on, measuring the peaceful hours of your rest, and the cat sleeps on, the guardian of the parlor, the muse of relaxation. Let go of the day, let go of the modern world, and sink into the plush, silent, velvet darkness of the Victorian night, where the only reality is the warmth of the fire and the soft, sleeping weight of the cat.
The heavy velvet curtains of the Victorian parlor are drawn back now to reveal a new landscape, one that is built not of brick and stone, but of words and imagination. A world where the quiet scratching of a pen and the rhythmic clacking of typewriter keys become the soundtrack to the night. We are traveling into the creative heart of America, into the private sanctuaries of the great writers who defined the spirit of the West, and finding there, amidst the stacks of paper and the clouds of pipe smoke, the constant, calming presence of the cat. History tells us that writing is a solitary profession, a lonely journey into the mind. But the great American authors knew the secret that you are never truly alone if you have a cat sleeping on your desk. Let us drift first to the rolling hills of Connecticut in the late 19th century, to the beautiful rambling home of Mark Twain, a man known for his sharp wit and his white suits, but loved by history for his incredibly tender heart toward felines. Imagine his study, a room filled with the scent of old leather books and sweet tobacco, where the winter wind whistles outside the frosted windows, but inside, the fire burns warm and bright. Twain is there, pacing the floor, searching for the perfect word to describe the Mississippi River, and trailing behind him, or perched on the billiard table that serves as his desk, are his cats, creatures with names like Bambino and Sour Mash. He stops to stroke the black and white fur of a kitten that has curled up in the corner pocket of the pool table, and the frustration of the work melts away, replaced by a smile of pure affection. The cat does not care about fame or reviews. It cares only about the gentle hand that offers a scratch behind the ears. And this simple, honest connection grounds the writer, pulling him back from the abstract world of fiction to the warm, solid reality of the present moment. You can feel the coziness of this library, the way the shadows of the firelight dance across the rows of books, the way the smoke curls lazily toward the ceiling, and the way the cat's purr creates a background hum that aids concentration, a white noise of contentment that blocks out the rest of the world. The cat is a muse that does not speak, a critic that does not judge, simply a companion that bears witness to the creation of stories. And there is a deep sense of peace in that shared silence. Now let the scene dissolve and change, the snow of Connecticut melting away into the turquoise waters and humid tropical air of Key West, Florida. We are moving forward into the 20th century to a white limestone house with a wraparound veranda surrounded by lush green palms and bright red hibiscus flowers, the home of Ernest Hemingway. The air here is heavy and warm, smelling of salt spray, wet pavement after a sudden rain shower, and the sweet scent of tropical fruit.
The sun beats down on the metal roof, but inside the house, the high ceilings and the slow-turning ceiling fans keep the air cool and moving. This is a house of routine, where the writer wakes with the first light of dawn to work while the world is quiet. But he is not the only one awake. Everywhere you look, there are cats, distinct and special cats, many of them with 6 toes on their paws, a genetic trait that makes their feet look like large, soft mittens. These polydactyl cats are the descendants of a ship's cat given to Hemingway by a sea captain, a living link to the maritime history we traveled through earlier, and they rule this house with a benevolent confidence. Picture the writer sitting at his desk in the studio above the carriage house, the windows open to catch the trade winds, the sound of the palm fronds rustling like dry paper in the breeze. The typewriter sits before him, a machine of metal and ink, and the keys strike the paper with a rhythmic clack, clack, clack that sounds like a rapid heartbeat. But right next to the machine, or perhaps even draped over the writer's arm, is a cat, sleeping soundly through the noise. The cat's extra toes spread out as it stretches, kneading the wood of the desk, claiming the space as its own. There's a beautiful contrast here between the rugged, adventurous life of the writer and the gentle, domestic love he holds for these animals. He pauses in his typing to pour a saucer of milk or to simply watch the way the cat sleeps with such total abandonment, learning from it the art of relaxation, the art of saving energy for when it is truly needed. The cats of Key West are not just pets, they are the spirit of the place, wandering through the garden, sleeping under the shade of the banyan trees, cooling their bellies on the tile floors, always present, always watching. You were there in the room, feeling the humidity soften your skin, feeling the heavy, languid atmosphere of the tropics slowing your pulse.
The sound of the ocean is a distant, rhythmic crashing on the shore, a lullaby that has played for millions of years, and the typewriter's rhythm slows down, becoming sporadic until it stops altogether, leaving only the sound of the wind and the purr. The writer leans back in his chair, rubbing his eyes, and the cat wakes up, blinking slow green eyes, stretching its front legs forward in a long, elegant bow before hopping down to rub against the writer's shins. This is the literary life, not one of constant excitement, but of long, quiet hours spent in a room with a cat, and you can feel the deep satisfaction of that solitude. It is a solitude that is not lonely, a silence that is not empty. The ink dries on the page, capturing the thoughts of the day, but the cat captures the feeling of the home, holding the peace within its fur.
As the afternoon heat sets in, the whole house seems to take a nap. The writer, the cats, the very building itself settling into a drowsy slumber. You can imagine yourself finding a cool spot on a daybed on the porch, the sheer white curtains billowing gently inward like the sails of a ship, the shadows of the palm leaves painting moving patterns on the floor. A six-toed cat jumps up beside you, its heavy paws making no sound, and curls into the crook of your knees, a warm, living anchor that holds you to the earth. The connection between the writer and the cat is a bond of the soul, a recognition that we are all just trying to make sense of the world, and sometimes the best way to do that is to simply close your eyes and sleep. The stories of Mark Twain and Hemingway are written in books, but the story of their love for cats is written in the atmosphere of their homes, a legacy of kindness that lingers in the air like perfume. You are part of that legacy now, a silent observer in the house of words, surrounded by the ghosts of great stories and the living presence of the cats. The sun begins to set over the Gulf of Mexico, painting the sky in outrageous shades of purple and orange, and the light in the room turns golden and dim. The shadows lengthen, swallowing the typewriter, the books, the desk, leaving only the soft breathing of the sleepers. The literary companions of the West have done their work. They have guarded the writers, they have inspired the stories, and now they guide you into the realm of dreams. The words on the page blur and fade, losing their meaning, becoming just shapes in the dark. And the only thing that matters is the feeling of rest, the feeling of heaviness in your limbs, the feeling of the cat's warmth against your side. The Purr is a story with no words, a story that has no beginning and no end, a story that simply says, you are safe, you are loved, you are here. Let the ink dry, let the paper rest, let the mind turn off its own typewriter. The quiet inspiration of the cat takes over, leading you away from the world of thought and into the world of feeling, into the deep, dark, restorative ocean of sleep. You drift on the waves of the tropical night, under the stars of Key West, watched over by the six-toed guardians, sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into the ultimate peace. Leave behind the humid air of the tropics and the clacking typewriters of the literary past as we step fully into the present moment, arriving in the familiar landscape of the modern world, a place of glass skyscrapers, humming highways, and the constant invisible flow of information. We find ourselves in a contemporary American home, a sanctuary designed to shelter us from the fast-paced rhythm of the 21st century, where the noise of the city is kept at bay by double-paned windows and the soft hum of central air conditioning. In this era of high technology and constant connectivity, the cat has revealed yet another layer of its ancient mystery, stepping forward not just as a mouser or a muse, but as a healer, a biological marvel whose very presence acts as a balm to the stressed and weary human spirit.
Science has finally begun to understand what cat lovers have known intuitively for thousands of years, that the sound of the purr is not merely a noise of contentment, but a powerful, resonant frequency that vibrates between 25 and 140 hertz, a specific range that corresponds exactly to the frequencies used in modern medicine to promote the healing of bones and the repair of soft tissue. Imagine yourself walking through the front door of your home after a long, demanding day, the weight of deadlines and traffic and digital noise still clinging to your shoulders like a heavy coat. You lock the door behind you, turning the deadbolt with a solid click that signals the end of the outside world's demands, and you step into the quiet, dim hallway, kicking off your shoes and feeling the softness of the carpet beneath your feet. The house is still, save for the gentle whir of the refrigerator and the ticking of a clock. But then you hear it, the faint, welcoming sound of a bell jingling, the soft thud of paws landing on the floor, and your cat comes to greet you, weaving between your legs in a figure-8 pattern, a living embrace that welcomes you back to the present moment. You make your way to the living room, a space filled with soft textures, neutral colors, and the warm amber glow of a salt lamp or a dim corner bulb, creating an atmosphere of immediate relaxation. You sink into the deep plush cushions of the sofa, letting your body collapse into the support of the furniture, exhaling a long, slow breath that seems to empty your lungs of all the day's tension. The cat follows you, of course, hopping up with a light, graceful movement and settles onto your lap or curls up tightly against your side, its body warm and solid, a little furnace of life that radiates a gentle heat against your skin. And then the engine begins. The purr starts low in the chest, a rhythmic rumbling vibration that you can feel in your own body, traveling through your clothes, through your skin, and deep into your muscles.
This is the healing frequency, a sonic massage that works on a cellular level, sending waves of calm through your nervous system, telling your brain that it is safe to switch off the fight or flight response and enter a state of rest and digest. As you stroke the soft fur, running your hand down the length of the cat's spine, you can physically feel your blood pressure beginning to lower, the rapid beating of your heart slowing down to match the steady, hypnotic rhythm of the animal. It is a biological synchronization, a transfer of energy, where the cat absorbs your stress and gives back pure, unadulterated peace. The blue light of the television and the smartphone is turned off, leaving the room in a soft, shadowy twilight, and the only sound that matters is this continuous, rolling thrum, a sound that is more consistent than the ocean, more grounding than the wind. You can imagine the sound waves as visible ripples of golden light spreading out from the cat's chest, washing over you, dissolving the knots of anxiety in your stomach, loosening the tightness in your jaw, smoothing out the furrow in your brow. In this modern age, we are often starved for touch, for simple, non-judgmental connection, and the cat provides this in abundance, offering a tactile grounding that anchors us to the earth. The science of comfort tells us that this interaction releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the chemical of love and safety, flooding your system with a sense of well-being that is as potent as any medicine. You find yourself matching your breathing to the purr, inhaling for a count of 4, holding it, and exhaling slowly, drifting deeper into the cushions with every breath. The worries about emails, about bills, about the schedule for tomorrow, they all begin to fade, becoming distant and unimportant, pushed to the margins of your mind by the overwhelming physical reality of the comfort you are feeling right now. The cat stretches, extending its claws for a moment into the fabric of the sofa before kneading gently, a rhythmic motion that harkens back to its kittenhood,
a sign of absolute safety and trust. You are part of this circle of trust, a guardian of the guardian, providing a warm lap while the cat provides the healing sound. The room feels safer, smaller, cozier, as if the purr has built an invisible wall around the sofa, a force field that nothing negative can penetrate. You can feel the vibration in your hands as they rest on the fur. You can feel it in your chest, a sympathetic resonance that tunes your body to the frequency of peace. This is the modern miracle, that in a world of artificial sounds and digital beeps, the most soothing sound is still the ancient organic rumble of a small animal. It is a connection to nature that we can access right in our own living rooms, a reminder that we are biological creatures who need rest, who need warmth, who need the presence of other living things.
The shadows in the room deepened as the evening wears on, the corners of the room disappearing into soft darkness, and your eyelids grow heavy, so heavy that keeping them open feels like an impossible task. The cat's head grows heavy on your leg, its eyes closing to mere slits of contentment, and you allow yourself to follow its lead, letting your head fall back against the cushion, letting your hands go still. The healing frequency continues, a lullaby that does not need words, a sound that bypasses the logical brain and speaks directly to the primitive part of you that knows how to sleep. You are floating on this sound, drifting on a river of vibration, moving away from the shore of wakefulness and out into the vast, calm sea of sleep. The modern world outside the window has ceased to exist. There is no traffic, no internet, no noise, only this quiet room, this warm weight, this healing sound. Your body feels repaired, your mind feels cleansed, washed clean by the simple, profound act of sitting with a cat. The purr seems to merge with the silence of the night, becoming the background hum of the universe itself, a sound that says everything is all right, everything is functioning as it should. You are safe, you are healthy, you are resting. The boundaries between you and the cat seem to blur, two living beings sharing the same space, the same warmth, the same peaceful intent. The descent into sleep is slow and sweet, a gradual shutting down of the senses until there is nothing left but the feeling of comfort, the feeling of the soft fur, and the deep, resonant, healing vibration that carries you down, down, down into the deepest, most restorative slumber you have ever known. The science is simple, but the feeling is magical. And as you cross the threshold into dreams, you carry with you the knowledge that you are being healed, you are being held, and you are deeply, perfectly at peace. And now we come to the end of our long journey through time, drifting slowly back from the distant shores of history, floating on the gentle current of the night until we arrive right here, right now, in the quiet sanctuary of your own bedroom. The history books are closed, the maps are folded away, and the great wheel of time slows to a halt, leaving you in the stillness of the present moment, surrounded by the familiar comfort of your own home. The lights are out, the house is locked and safe, and the world outside has quieted down to a hush, leaving only the soft, rhythmic breathing of the night itself. You are lying in your bed, feeling the coolness of the sheets against your skin and the comforting weight of the blankets pressing down on you, grounding you, holding you securely in this space of rest. And there, at the foot of the bed, or perhaps curled against the curve of your legs, lies the cat, the final piece of the puzzle, the living anchor that connects you to every story we have told tonight. This small, sleeping creature in your room is not just a pet. It is the heir to an ancient lineage, carrying within its DNA the memories of the first campfire in the desert, the golden sun of Egypt, the mist of the medieval mountains, and the salt spray of the Atlantic Ocean.
As you lie there in the dark, listen closely to the silence, and you will realize it is not empty. It is filled with the presence of your guardian, a presence that has watched over the sleep of humanity for thousands of years. The cat shifts slightly, adjusting its position, a heavy, warm weight that settles back down with a contented sigh. And you can feel that warmth radiating through the covers, a physical reminder that you are not alone in the dark. Think of the wild ancestor approaching the fire and realize that same spirit is here now, protecting your room from the shadows. Think of the temple cats of Bastet and know that the same divine grace is curled up on your duvet. Think of the ship's cat on the Mayflower and know that this cat is navigating you through the ocean of sleep with the same brave heart. The bond is unbroken, a single, continuous thread of companionship that stretches from the dawn of time to this very second, weaving a tapestry of safety that wraps around you like a cocoon. The modern world fades away completely. The screens are dark, the notifications are silenced, and there is only the primitive, essential reality of the den, the nest, the safe place where you can let go of all vigilance. Your breathing slows down, matching the slow, deep rhythm of the cat's breathing. Inhale and exhale, feeling your chest rise and fall in perfect synchronization with the creature at the foot of the bed. You can imagine the cat's dreams of chasing leaves in a prehistoric wind, dreams of sleeping on cool marble, dreams of warm hearths in log cabins, all swirling together in a timeless river of slumber. The darkness of the room is soft and velvety, a substance that cushions you, that fills your eyes and your ears with peace. You feel your toes relaxing, the tension melting out of your feet, your ankles, your calves, drifting away like smoke in the wind. You feel your legs becoming heavy, sinking deeper into the mattress, supported by the earth below. Your hips, your back, your shoulders all releasing their hold, surrendering to the pull of gravity, surrendering to the safety of the moment. The cat is the guardian of the threshold, the watcher at the gate of dreams, and because it is sleeping, you know that there is no danger, there is nothing to fear, for if there were, the guardian would be awake. But the guardian is asleep, deep in the land of Nod, and so you can follow, you can trust, you can let go. The sound of the purr may be faint now, a whisper of vibration, or it may be silent, but the feeling is there, a frequency of pure love and protection that fills the room. You are part of a long line of sleepers who have found comfort in the presence of a cat, a tradition of rest that transcends borders and languages and centuries. The street lights outside may cast a faint, pale glow on the ceiling, a static moon that watches over the neighborhood. But inside, the atmosphere is warm and enclosed. You're safe in your tower, safe in your cabin, safe in your temple. The night stretches out before you, vast and welcoming, a landscape of rest that is yours to explore.
The thoughts of the day, the worries of tomorrow, they are all left behind on the shore, and you are drifting out into the center of the lake, where the water is still and the stars are reflected in the glass-like surface. The cat is your anchor, keeping you tethered to the warmth, keeping you tethered to the love, even as your mind floats free. You can feel the heaviness of your eyelids, so heavy that they feel glued shut, sealing you into your inner world. The muscles in your face relax, your jaw unhinges, your brow smooths out, erasing the lines of concentration. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to think, nothing left to be, other than a sleeper in the dark.
The history of the world is a history of days and nights, of waking and sleeping, and you are taking your place in that eternal cycle, honoring the need for rest. The cat at the foot of the bed is a symbol of the eternal slumber, a creature that spends half its life in the dream world, showing us that sleep is not a waste of time, but a sacred state of being. You are connected to the earth, connected to the past, connected to the universe through the simple act of lying still. The silence deepens, becoming a physical weight, a blanket of quiet that covers you from head to toe. The only reality now is the warmth of the bed, the softness of the pillow, and the knowledge that your faithful guardian is there. Sleep comes now, washing over you like a gentle tide, rising up to cover your feet, your legs, your chest, your mind. It is a warm, golden tide, filled with the memories of sun-drenched courtyards and cozy fires. You are drifting, floating, sinking, down, down, down. The bond of today is the bond of forever, a promise that you are safe, you are loved, and you are never alone. The cat sleeps, the world sleeps, and now, finally, you sleep. Good night to the history. Good night to the ancestors. Good night to the guardian. Deep, restful, restorative sleep is here. Let go, drift, dream, sleep.